Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Void Erosion Purge 29. Now, you're going to see that it is Void Erosion Purge 29, and in this explanation of Void Erosion Purge 29, if I say that again too many times, it's going to get annoying, that you are going to be playing just a little bit differently than Void Erosion Purge 28. Now, in this, you have a little bit more tight corridors and you have some areas to where you can be a bit floaty. Serena's overall kit is based off of her being aerial, so she takes less damage in the air, she does more damage while in the air, and you have to maintain that balance when it comes to floating in the air, getting the MP things back, and kind of balancing out your whole kit. Now that we have the external component like upgrade system in the game, there's some things you want to focus on with the kit that you already have from Void Erosion Purge 28. So we're still going to be using the ascending armory, like the ascending set, and still that's going to give us some skill costs so we can float a little bit longer, and reloading in mid-air provides some supply bullets proportional to the max rounds. It has a cooldown timer, but again, you're going to be focused on getting that HP up. You're going to want HP up, you're going to want MP recovery out of combat, MP recovery in combat, HP recovery modifier, MP recovery modifier. You're going to want a little bit of defense. Well, you are going to want defense, that's the only defense you got, and you're going to want the toxin resistance. So I want to say, in the previous video on my ascending armor processor, I had max shield on there. You don't really need max shield on there, but the toxin resist is the thing that you really do want on there. And in order to like get more bang for your buck, you could pick something else besides if you had something else on there besides max shield, anything else besides max shield, because the overall kit from Void Erosion Purge 28, we are using overwhelming HP, so our shield isn't really taken into account for that, because we're stacking up a whole bunch of HP. Now, the max shield may end up, I don't know, it may have ended up helping me with the overwhelming HP because it has, anyway, but even if you're using the same total kit that I put out there with the max shield, it's not detrimental to the build. You see how quickly I'm blowing through the Void Erosion Purge 29, and I can tell you honestly that by the end of it, I'm still gonna have plenty of time left over. If in the future you don't want to see me have the bikini models on the right hand side of the screen, then by all means I could remove it next time, but for this video it's there, so we'll see how the reception goes for that. Again, about Void Erosion Purge 29, you're going to have the same toxic enemies, it's going to be the same order of truth, and you're going to be wanting to do a lot more. I need to get used to Serena floating in the sky type of build. We're going to be using the hem, we're going to be using her fourth ability. They changed some things up about you can't use it during certain animations, but I really didn't bump into that while using it. I never really used Serena in a what I would assume is a cheesy way of whatever. I continuously run out of MP. I'm looking for the MP balls on the ground. I'm trying to pick up those orbs or whatnot, and I'm trying to put bullets down range. Again, I'm going with the Void Erosion Purge 28 set build, and I'm getting used to doing all this floating around, because Serena with the Albion Cavalry or with a different gun, you're going to want to get used to this gameplay of her floating in the sky, bouncing up and down off the ground. She is a big change to the game like Keelan was. Now, a lot of people don't play Keelan because he's a guy, but Keelan did change a lot of things for the game when it came to movement, and it came through moving through the map. And then Inez really did something to the game when it came to really when it came to attacking enemies through walls and doing a lot of electrical damage. In any other build out there, if Inez could still hit through walls, I'm not saying that she can't do this content, but Serena makes things 10 times easier, and Serena's not getting nerfed anytime soon, so enjoy it while you can. Another reason I didn't want to put out this video, right, like I was putting out constant content about these Void Erosion Purge things, but I thought Serena was going to get nerfed, so then me telling you to play a character that's been nerfed is kind of detrimental to the video, because then the video dies saying that you can't use the character that's already nerfed. But again, I digress. They're going to be fixing other Descendants rather than nerfing her. She kind of just it was a big wake-up call for the developers. Now you can see in some of these tighter corridors that I am doing some floaty stuff. I could have pulled out the executor and probably melted that boss, the little yellow bar, a little bit faster. But again, we get into these bigger floaty sections to where we have more space to float, more space to fly, more space to kind of maneuver around and get our HP back. We get more health orbs. We're going to be killing enemies a lot faster. And one of the big things to take in is that when we're floating in the sky and we have our abilities all going, her fourth ability going, she's going to be hitting everything in the room up to, I want to say in this case for the build, I think I have it up to 10 meters. Some people have it up to 17 meters, but I think 10 meters is perfectly fine. Again, you can see the amount of damage that I'm taking and the amount of damage that I'm putting out. If I had a better kitted out weapon, these enemies would die a whole lot faster. If you already built into, I don't know, the Last Dagger, Albion Cavalry, again, a good kitted out one of, well, the Albion Cavalry, I don't really like using the Last Dagger to that extent unless I'm taking out Tormentor, but the Albion Cavalry could potentially do something in here. It does do a whole bunch of stun. It does do a decent amount of damage, but the enemies are weak against electricity and they're weak against burst. And Albion Cavalry is both of those things. It's not both of those things at all. It's a crush weapon that uses ice damage. So anyway, we went with the same weapon that we used before, so we can use the armor cores that we already have to make our guns better. We're going to be wanting to get yellows on the gun, where purple will suffice, and at some point hopefully they change the weapon core system to where I can do minor upgrades to that, so I don't have to keep completely rely on a gamble. I think that would also bring newer players into the game if we were able to get the cores that we wanted and then kind of invest some things into it to bring it up. So instead of the whole gambling mechanic of the game, I understand the purpose for longevity, but it's quite scummy when you roll something 15 times and you never get the roll that you want. So you're continuing to go back through this content and slog through it. And I don't think that First Descendant players want to slog through content, and they want to see big numbers. They want to see dynamic motion, and they want to have fun with the builds that they're building and the characters that they're building into, whether that be Ultimate Blair or be Sharon, because not Sharon, ooh, I don't even know why I said Sharon, I meant Serena, or Serena, because when Ultimate Serena comes out, she's going to be absolutely game breaking to the whole thing if this game continues, which I really hope it does. But anyway, I digress. The floating mechanics, getting used to the secret garden, using the executioner. I used the executioner here a little bit and then to see how that would kind of fill out, how that would float out. And it just, I don't know, it wasn't the greatest. If I was on the ground shooting them, it would have been a bit better. But anyway, now I'm just rambling. So the overall build and the overall speed at which I defeat this enemy and defeat this encounter is Void Erosion Purge build taken into Void Erosion Purge 29, and then when we get into 30, we're going to be talking more about Viessa, kitting that out and getting through it so that we can finally finish Void Erosion Purge. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video and you know what this video brought to the table as far as the rest of the content, getting us all through Void Erosion Purge in a comfortable and dynamic motion manner. And you can go ahead and check out the other channel, Mangumson Plays, and I do have Mangumson Cooking, but that is a channel in development, so check it out if you want to support me. Check out Mangumson Plays if you do. To any of these people on the leaderboard, shout out to them for making it to the top. No matter how you get there, a win's a win. Like, share, and subscribe. Get in where you fit in, and I will see you in the next one.